booing us as we were walking in. That was about the coolest thing ever. So I know Lawrence County, they pride themselves on having a big student section, and they're loud and noisy. So I'm excited about it.
Well, the last time that I remember going down to Dixon County before this year, they even put up a special stands there in one of the end zones for their student section.
Yeah, they haven't done that recently, but when they play their county rivalry, they're definitely up.
And they were playing some illegal noises and everything else, but and the referee kept looking at me and Dan like, y'all quit sounding that simulated whistle. I said, it's not us. It's them.
Yeah, but I enjoy going down to Lawrenceburg. It's not too far of a drive, and Coach Marson does a good job of always having his kids prepared, and they run that wing tee offense, and if you're watching from the stands, you're going to be who's got the ball, one of those types of offenses.
They've run that wing tee offense for how many years?
At least
since
20.
the inception of football.
Yeah. I mean, they've run it as long as I can remember. So
it's not like we're not seeing it for the first time. That's for sure.
We're not. We've definitely. Hillwood and Dixon County both had some offenses where they had some wing backs, but it wasn't a true wing tee.
Right.
But we've seen a lot of it in practice, starting from when we were able to put pads on in July. We would have days set out. It's a wing tee day, and we'd practice against the wing tee on defense. So we've practiced it here and there several times leading up to this week of seeing nothing but wing tee. So hopefully our guys are prepared and ready to go.
You being the head coach and defensive coordinator / defensive coordinator, it's all on you.
It's on Coach Davis. We got to score more points than they do.
No. I'm talking about the wing tee. Defending the wing tee. It's all on you.
Well, it's not just on me. I mean, the whole
it's all on you.
It'll come back on me.
Every week I hear defense wins championships.
That's right.
So,
that's a true statement.
Every broadcast you hear from ESPN to CBS to NBC to whatever, defense wins the game.
I'll give credit to coaching staff. We've done. I feel really good about our game plan. Coach Sykes, Coach Lockridge, Coach Taylor.
By the way, we did have some audio difficulties for the beginning of the show online, and I do apologize for that. We have no idea why. Everything was working when we started streaming, and all of a sudden it went away.
It's because you're on time.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because you're on time. But everything is back up and running now, and I do apologize.
Yeah, but our coach has done a good job of coaching their positions up on how to prepare for this type of team. So I feel confident going in with our defensive and offensive game plan.
It seems now, Coach, that Darian's got the mindset, like he was quoted in the paper, saying, we're not going to lose this ball game.
Right, well, that's, we went in halftime. That's one of the things we said. So, guys, we're better than this team, and we're not going to lose. Never did I feel at any point in that game, even them being down at halftime, that we didn't have the upper hand. I still felt at that point we were going to be okay. And we just had to reinstill that into their mind. And they came out second half, like I said, they played like they knew they weren't going to lose the game.
But Dan and I were kind of sitting there, all right, we're waiting for the big play. We're waiting for the big play. We know it's going to happen. And then, boom, there's 81 yards, Hey, there it is. We're back.
Yep.
So.
And then, Darian made some plays with his legs in the second half that opened up some stuff with some other running backs as well, too. So, the offensive line really, they started clicking right there about midway through the third quarter, started the fourth quarter. They started to open up some holes. We were able to start moving the ball a little bit better. And
we had some good passing yards, too. So.
It was definitely a tale of two halves for the offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, he had a little talking to, little nice talking to at halftime. And then, coming out, the good thing about these guys, it says a lot about our team in the whole. Usually, in the past, like last year when they're coming out and they're down and stuff like that, just like, all right, let's just go play and all that. And this team's not like that. This team's like, we got to do this, we got to do that, let's chip away. This is what we've sacrificed all year long to get to. And they go out and do it. They get focused. And
now you know that you've got the talent to do it.
That's correct.
Because you're 3-0.
That's right.
So there's no reason why you get down. No. You just rework it for the second half.
not everything's going to go your way all the time.
No.
That's just how you respond, and that's what we tell them all the time. You know, adversity shows the true character of you. You know, it shows, are you going to lay down, or are you going to actually step up to the plate and show what you got? And I tell you this, it's just every time I watch the film, the second half of the line, it's just unreal when they started. When our guards started pulling and they started coming up in the hole, wasn't nobody stepping in front of them, because if they were getting bulldozed over. And then our line just started washing them down, and you know, it was fun as being the O-line coach to watch, because then you could just go, okay, hand the ball off, just run, run, and it just started making a difference. And I think when they started seeing that they have wore them down and they don't want to step in front of them anymore, I think that just gives them more and more confidence. And
right.
Of course, every time we get down on the goal line, they want to look at me and be like, they'll try to tell me to either run it to their side, and of course I got left side telling me to run it to their side, and I got right side telling me to run it to the right side. So, but it's good to know that they're taking a passion
split
in
the
on
difference and go up the middle.
That's fine. A lot of times it'll happen that way.
Any plans for a Wildcat play at some point?
Out of our offense?
Yeah.
We have a Wildcat. What are you talking about? We got a quarterback and run and throw.
Yeah.
And you got a couple guys who can jet sweep it or run up the gut. So hey, that's Wildcat offense.
All right.
That's true.
All right.
We haven't put any other crazy formations, and if that's what you're asking.
No, I'm just asking. I mean, you stuck to simple so far. You know, you got four defensive things and 4 offensive things, and you know, I thought maybe you might try to put a little trickery in there from time to time.
Well, I like the.
We may.
We went for 81 yards.
I like the option.
That was a trick play.
No, that was a blown play for 81 yards.
Yeah, but it was a called trick play.
But they did run the same play again, you know, another time and completed a pass out of it.
So really, we were successful 2 for 2 on the trick plays.
One of them went like it's supposed to, and the other one.
And the one that was supposed to, I was like, don't throw it. And then Woodson made a great catch.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
I mean, he went up and got it. I mean,
he's turned into a great little receiver.
Yeah, he's scrappy when he gets out there, and that's what makes him good. He's competitive.
It's good watching, being able to not pinpoint a certain receiver to stop. Yeah. All these receivers wanting the ball, and man, they go get it.
Yeah.
You put it up, you feel pretty confident that they're going to go get it.
Well, I enjoyed the other night when we had the freshman JV game, and I got to see Roman Woodson playing and seeing what he can do, and I was impressed.
Yeah, Roman looked good in the game the other night. Kind of looked like his older brother there.
Yeah.
Had some good runs. Had a good long touchdown catch.
And he
had several tackles on defense.
Right. I mean, he went low on the big guy like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the first play of the game.
Yeah.
Now, you guys don't normally point out an individual player, but I'm going to ask this question: most improved over the last 3 weeks? Now that we're 3-0.
Let me think about that one for a sec.
And if you have to name 2 or 3 most improved, that'd be fine. But I mean, you know, as a team, obviously we're 3-0. That's nice.
Well,
but there have got to be some folks that have just stood out, and you said, "Wow, I didn't know that was going to happen."
Well, I'm going to come out and say this. I can't necessarily say one single player, but I'll have to brag on these guys. My offensive line hasn't given up a sack yet. They've done very well. Even if we've had a botch snap, you know, it's been great to have a quarterback who can run, but so far out of 3 games, we haven't given up a sack, and that to me is great for the amount of passing yards we've had and attempts. You know, one could slip up here and there, but right now, no, and no sacks. So the O-line right now is clicking, and you know, each week they're playing pretty solid, and outside of that, man, it's hard to pinpoint somebody right now.
It is, and I'm thinking, you know, defensively, who I would point out. And I can't really just name one, but I can give you a few as far as saying, you know, David Bailey is tremendously improved at his position since last season. Chase Roberts,
he's a beast,
just playing lights out 3 weeks straight. Josh Hand. Yeah. Also being in there, being undersized, he's holding his own.
Yeah.
Doing well. Jalen Hall stepped in for Nante when he got hurt, and Jalen's done tremendous at that defensive end spot.
Well, you know, defensively, Jalen wants to have as much success as his older brother at UNA.
No, yeah,
He's already said that.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, he said that goes without saying.
Yep. I mean, he's done an outstanding job for us this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, Will and Montana have been solid inside. Bryce Mangrum has done an outstanding job playing
he's
that
made several.
strong safety.
Will got a stinger of the night, right? So he's
Yes,
okay.
He's okay. He's good to go. I've been really impressed with Dontavius Brown. He's got several pass breakups, got an interception on the year. He's also made some really good tackles. He made 2 touchdown saving tackles in the game against Lincoln County the other night.
He also got that. He also got that fumble recovery after they intercepted it,
which I will give credit to Russell Wagner, because after the interception, Russ is the guy who hustled down and made the tackle, forced the fumble, and Dontavius was there to scoop it up.
Cool.
So that just shows
way to go, Russ.
You just never give up.
He's over there somewhere.
And that drive is the drive that we had to go ahead and score on.
Yep.
If that play doesn't happen, it might still be a 13-12 ball game.
Right.
It's hard to pinpoint just one player, though, because I've been impressed with a lot of guys that have just seen improvement from last season to this season and through the course of the season.
So the entire team gets an A+ this week.
Well, we haven't had this week yet.
Yeah. No. From last week.
Oh, from last week. I'd give him a high score. I don't know if I'd give him an A+, but maybe a B+ or an A- or something.
Yeah.
You got to get him
because we could have put that game away early if we wanted to.
Yep.
I think so. If we would have played in the first half like we did in the second half.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt.
It would have been over
no
quick.
doubt at all. What's your proudest moment from the last three weeks? Where you walk off the field and you go, yeah. You just kind of.
I think last Friday night,
Coming from behind,
being down at halftime, being in the dogfights. First game, our starters play all 4 quarters.
Right.
I was more proud of us being able to fight through that adversity and come up with a win. Because last year, we faced that adversity early. We were never able to get over that hump.
Right.
Could never figure out a way to win. This year, we figured it out. We found a way to win the game. So I was probably more proud of that than anything. And obviously, getting that first win, getting that losing streak going, that was also special for us as well.
Get that monkey off your back.
Yep. And talking about last Friday night, first time we had beaten Lincoln County since 2012.
Right.
Yep.
I said, been a long time coming. First region win that we've had at Columbia since 2014. So, it was definitely a huge night for us the other night.
And instead of it being, it's all region now, where it used to be District 8.
Right.
They were a part of our District 8. Lincoln County, Winchester,
County.
Franklin County, and all those. Lawrence County and all those were in our old District 8.
Right.
And it was a strong district at that time.
It really was.
And I missed that.
Yep. And Lawrence County, they're not a region game anymore. Their attendance is down, so I believe they're still Class 4A.
Yeah.
But we still fortunate to have them on the schedule every year. A good rivalry game going with them. So.
Darien had, I've got just a few little statistics here. Darien had 8 of 14 for 127 yards passing. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
It's not bad. Anytime you're completing over 50% of your passes in high school, I consider it to be good. Adding that with his rushing yards, I think he's accounted for 11 touchdowns in 3 games for us so far this season. So
I could show you right here because I got it up.
I'm pretty
up perfectly for you.
I know he's got 6 passing,
passing
and 5 rushing. I know that.
When we get to passing right now, he's 20 for 32.
That's
360 yards, 120 average a game, 73 long, 6 touchdowns.
Wow.
Only negative, he's got 2 interceptions.
Right.
Well,
and then rushing stats, he is at 16 carries for 156 yards, and he has 5 touchdowns off that.
So that's good. You look at our receivers, I bet we have at least 4 receivers with touchdown receptions.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Coach Davis mentioned earlier. It's hard to, if you're a defense, you can't just hone in on one guy because we got multiple guys that can make big plays, multiple running backs that can make big plays. And, of course, all that success starts with the success we're having up front.
Right.
With our offensive line. Like you said, not giving up a sack, opening those holes up for the running backs. That's what makes the offense run.
And it's nice to have options.
That is correct.
All right, let's name. All right, Coach, name off your offensive line. You got Russ Wagner.
Got Drew Williamson at center, Russ Wagner. You have Andrew Fraley, Royce Pierce, and Keaton Littlejohn.
Coach told us Tuesday night that Fraley had lost weight.
He has. I think he reported in, and he was 340.
He's standing up there getting ready to have a whole pizza, you know.
I think he reported in at camp. He was close to 340, and I think now 300. I think that's what he said the other day, 300.
Wow.
So,
But the important thing is that he is moving a lot better.
So he's an athletic 300 now.
Right. He can run when he wants to run. He can run much better than when he first came here. So it's been good.
That's true.
You know, we go back to 2010. We had Shaq on the line. You know, an incredible 318, and everybody go, "Hey, that kid can't move." Wrong. He was a very, very stout 318 and could move.
He was. When we played pickup basketball, you wanted him on your team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's going to be back for the student faculty game this year.
As long as he's on the faculty.
He will be.
He will be made an honorary teacher that day.
No,
Better believe it.
we've done it before. We'll do it again.
Was Colton Ballou there last year?
I called the
tried-
game, but I can't remember whether he was or
I
not.
don't think he was supposed to. I think he was going to try to be, but he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Any
We got
student that goes
Tillman,
through,
though.
Yeah,
we got Tillman in there last
That's
year.
right. Yeah.
We take a lot of pride in that game. You know.
I know
as
you
teachers.
do. I know you do.
Yeah, we talked trash for about a good 3 weeks straight.
And let me tell you, these guys come over to me and they shoot me notes of what I'm supposed to say about the other team.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't.
You just ad-lib your own
Try to
stuff,
keep it. Yeah, just try to keep it as clean as I possibly can.
And we get we make sure we get to pick the refs. So
That's true.
Oh, wait a minute. Now. That's what Anderson County was kind of.
Well, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That was one thing we never had to do, Coach. We never had to go to Anderson County to play.
Thank goodness.
I don't think we'd have been allowed inside the county if we'd have gone up there.
Probably wouldn't have been. I mean, I don't remember really traveling anywhere.
No.
Except to Cookville.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's right. That's as far east as we had to go.
That's right.
That's right. They all had to come to our house. Mm-hmm. Sure did.
That's the reason they can't do that anymore, because TSSAA, those 3 or 4 years that we had all of our home games at Lindsey Nelson Stadium, TSSAA kind of frowned on all that. So that's the reason they busted it up the way that they did.
Hey, they're the one that drew it up. I mean, we just play the game.
that's right.
Well, they had to have made a nice payday on those because the place was packed.
Absolutely.
Oh, it was.
packed.
Absolutely.
Speaking of packed, they're going to try to put 10,000 people into Lindsey Nelson Stadium on September 22nd for the Backyard Bowl, playing for the Mayor's Cup, playing against your old alma mater, Spring Hill.
Now, which mayor is the cup going to be named after?
I just, hey, the only thing that this PA guy knows, they're going to have it on the 22nd. That's all I know.
And we know Coke is going to handle the tailgate, and Chick-fil-A is supposed to be something in the halftime
Show.
And that's all we know.
Serena Joy Crow will entertain us with music and song with the Spring Hill and Columbia bands combined. I know that. But other than that, I know there's a 4-color poster out there, and that's all I know because that's all I've been told. So that's coming up on September 22nd, and there will be a tailgate from 4:30 to 6:45, which will be free, and it's sponsored by Coke. So your thoughts on I know you're bringing back the rivalry, which is a big rivalry for Columbia and Spring Hill.
And, you know, who's an alumni of Spring
That's
Hill?
what I mean, yeah. Coach Davis, you're going to have to watch this guy careful on that day.
That's okay.
Hey, don't worry. You know, funny thing was, you know, graduating high school from there and going to college, you know, coming out, you know, looking for a coaching and teaching job. I used to tell myself, I'm going to coach anywhere, but I ain't going to coach at Columbia. And that was the first job I took. You know, I interviewed with Vance. I interviewed with Jason Eubanks up at Independence, too. And both had good interviews at both. And had a chance to go eat at school. And Columbia felt more like home. You know, and you know, really wanted the opportunity to coach Ballou and learn from him. And I'm glad I did. I learned a lot from him. I tell you what, it only took me about 20 seconds to get rid of all the maroon and white bits and purple on, so it didn't take me very long at all.
Well, let me ask you this. How good does it feel to have him as the athletic director and kind of the mentor guy you can go to?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it really makes my job easy. Whether I have an administrative type of question I need to go to him about, or even if I just have a football, hey, what would you do in this situation? Or, have you ever come across this before? So it's been great I still consider him a mentor of mine. It was great having him in school, and he does an outstanding job, just guiding me along the way and making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing as well. So great to have him on staff at the school, and great he's still a part of our program. So, but I'm excited about the game coming up. Obviously, I'm focused on Lawrence County first and foremost, and then Summit next week.
Right.
But it'll be good. It'd be good for our community to have the rivalry going again. Spring Hill's grown a ton the last decade. Columbia's still growing as well too. It'll definitely be a competitive game. They're ranked in the top 5 in the state. We're ranked up there as well. They got a lot of hype around their running back, as they should be. He's a good ball player going to Georgia Tech. It'll be a good atmosphere, and I'm glad it's at our place this year.
Well,
the last 2 times we've played them, we've had to go there, so it'll be nice to get a home game against them again.
Didn't that running back last year run for 2,000 yards?
He did,
and and he's on pace to do it again this year so far. So let's just see what our defense can do.
Which I'm excited. I mean, anytime you play a football game, you want a challenge.
You want to go against somebody that's good.
That's why I tell my kids at home, when they go to practice, I said, you need to go against the biggest, baddest dude, because I said, if you want to be the best, then you have to go beat the best.
Well, years ago, just like when Bowden first took over at Florida State, everybody wanted to play Florida State because they wasn't any good.
Right.
But Bowden would schedule the toughest teams he could play against. He said that's the only way you're going to get better is play these tough games. Right. And he said that's where you learn and find out what you're made of.
That's right.
And it worked for him. So
I'm excited. And Spring Hill's coach, he was my defense coordinator in college. He recruited me out of high school. Got all the respect in the world for him. He's a good coach. Yeah. Good guy. He's got a good staff on him. So he's done a tremendous job there. His year and a half he's been there so far with them too. So but I'm excited. I'm excited for the community to have a good rivalry game back in place. Us and Spring Hill were the closest in divisions. Right. Being a 4A, us being 5A. Mount Pleasant.
But they could just as easily be a 5A.
Yeah, I think they're right around 1,200 students. We're right at 1,400 students. So, the sizes of our schools are almost the same size.
And they're still growing.
Right, and they just missed the cutoff when they realigned the districts. They barely missed the cutoff for being a 5A team. Because if they would have, it would have been a region game, obviously, being so close. But you never know. The next time they do it, you never know where we'll end up or where they'll end up. So. But we'll do the best we can as coaches to make sure we keep the rivalry game going. I think a lot of people don't understand how hard it is to schedule that game because you have so many games you have to play on certain weeks, and then you got to make sure you fill in your non-region games, and it's just got to align. Right. When we schedule our Dixon County or Lawrence counties and all those, the weeks they have to have their bye week when we have our bye week, and you can't play 7 road games and only 3 home games. So you really gotta juggle some stuff around to make sure the scheduling works. So I'm glad we're able to make that happen again, though.
Talk a little college. How did Tigers do? What? Hang on a second. How did the Tigers do?
They did well. Outside of the monsoon that they played in the other day, they did well. They had a couple of key injuries, but outside of that, they solid, kind of what you expected, what they were going to do. Their game Saturday, they're supposed to be playing at South Florida, which is a highly touted team, and it got moved to tomorrow night because of Hurricane Irma. So
are they still playing in the same location? I didn't know if
they just moved it up. It up a day, so I gotta. Hopefully that's on TV, so I can record that and have something to watch whenever I get home after our film gets uploaded, and I'll watch our film along with that. So
And of course, we all know how Michigan did.
They look solid
with the. And I said this on the other sports show Tuesday. The ugliest uniforms known to man.
Well, there's plenty out there that are still more ugly than
I don't think so.
There's definitely a handful. There's definitely a handful.
Well, now the old Pittsburgh Steelers look like bumblebees. Yes,
that's the worst. And even Rick Sykes will agree with you on that. And he's a diehard Pittsburgh fan.
The Cleveland Browns brown uniform.
Yeah.
No, the Jaguars when they did that mustard yellow.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that's the worst.
No.
Yes,
but we're talking college.
Yeah,
that's right.
It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't awful. But I figured, these coaches and it's hard to break tradition. And there's certain uniforms you just don't want to mess with. And I know Michigan's one of those uniforms. A lot of it's probably for maybe contracts with Nike or anything, or it could be recruiting tactics that they use. I figured it was just going to be one game, and all right, it's just one game. They can wear an alternate uniform, and they didn't go crazy with it. But hey, at least I did find out they did wear all maize before, so it wasn't actually the first time they've done
what,
it.
1931?
It was almost 100 years ago. But
there's a reason. It was been this so long since they've worn that.
Because it was ugly then.
But it makes it all that much better when they just handed it to Florida, and Florida could say they not only lost, but they lost to a team that they didn't like their uniforms too. So.
No, they lost to a team that had ugly uniforms.
Well, that makes it worse for them,
All right, what kind of statement does that make against the SEC and Florida being the big bad Gators?
Of the East.
Well, I think both the SEC and Big Ten are probably the two best conferences. I know the ACC has their argument too. They both have their powerhouses. You look at your Alabamas, your Floridas, and those teams. And then in Big Ten, you got your Ohio States, your Michigans, your Penn States. You got. It's much more competitive. About 10 years ago, it seemed like it was the SEC completely much dominated college football, and there wasn't another conference that could even, touch it. And now I feel like things have evened out a lot, and I think a lot of that's due to, a lot of these coaches are recruiting, SEC caliber players.
Right.
Michigan. Of course, I'm Michigan fans. I'm going to follow them. They pulled Aubrey Solomon, one of the top-rated players in the country, right out of Georgia last year. So they're recruiting, and that's part of coaching college football. Is you've got to get out and you got to recruit harder than the SEC teams to get that caliber talent up there.
That's kind of like in the Tennessee Georgia Tech game. Georgia Tech players, there's a couple of them there from Knoxville.
Yep, number 31.
Yeah.
He had a good game.
And played at Knoxville Webb, and so. It's good to see parity, though. I love to see that. Of course, I'll always be an SEC fan, and to my dying day, and probably beyond that. And of course, my blood bleeds orange. But I was very disappointed in the game. We got a win, but.
I'll tell you that
it was one of the ugliest wins I've ever seen in my life.
The triple option is one of the hardest things to stop, because
it's
one of those things you just can't simulate in practice.
No.
When we're preparing for Lawrence County, we don't run a wing tee. We can simulate the best we can, but and I told our defense, until we get to the game, you're not going to see what it's like until you actually see them.
Right.
And the same thing when you're covering that option. It's hard to simulate. You can work all summer on it, but if you don't run that yourself.
And when you got a quarterback as good as they had,
I was really impressed with them. Really good job.
Talking about pitch out at the last second and know exactly where that guy's going to be.
It's like a video game.
Yeah. It's like Madden 18.
So I'm not going to go there. You ain't going to worry about the fumble. So, Georgia Tech's going to win some ball games this year. I think. Hands down. So.
Well, and this was their Georgia Tech's first loss against the SEC team in the last 6 games. They won the 5 previous.
It's been a long time.
So
Paul Johnson does a good job down there.
Oh yeah.
He does a great job.
But I heard so many times on so many sports shows, talk shows, the last couple of days that Tennessee pulled victory out of the jaws of defeat.
But
because they should have lost that game.
And one thing I did like is Johnson. When the play is being run, he's already got the guy standing in front of him there, that's going to bring in the next play.
Right.
You know, and it's just he sends it in and they run it, and he don't expect no audible.
Right, and that's a lot of things with that triple option is that you're only going to have a handful of plays.
Right. Right.
So you have certain plays that set up other plays. It's just one of those things that, defensively, you've got to play your assignment, because if not, you're going to get lulled to sleep, and all of a sudden they're going to hit you over top of that big pass.
Right. Like they did a couple of times.
They did a couple times.
Right.
I mean, it's hard, and even if you're a fan watching the game, you kind of like feel like I'm watching the same play over and over, and all of a sudden, boom, they get a big play. So I mean, it's and kind of put you to sleep in a way,
I deal with him enough.
One of the keys to the offensive line, Russell Wagner's here. You still having as much fun as you had?
Oh yeah.
What makes it fun out there for all you guys?
You ain't got to hold the mic, man.
Well, it's fun. Winning.
Winning makes it fun.
Winning makes it all fun, doesn't it?
When you've got that much beef up front with you and Williamson and
Fraley.
Yeah, Fraley. The 300-pound Fraley now, which used to be 340-pound Fraley. Is it a confidence that you've got that you know that you can do what you can perform the way the coach wants you to perform?
Yeah, it always seems like we get 3-4 yards out there just about every time. And when we get low, fire off, we usually move people around.
Russ is still lobbying on a daily basis for him to play wide receiver, running back. It's been going about 3 years strong now.
But you started it, though. You definitely started it this year whenever you talked to him in the hallway and said, hey, if we're undefeated after 8 games, then we'll hand you the football. You started that.
I think I said I put him in receiver.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
I tell you what, line him up in the backfield.
Perry moment.
Yeah, line him up in the backfield when we're down there first and goal at the 1. And see what he can do.
I remember the deal. It was, it's homecoming. It's homecoming now, but it was senior night versus White County. We're 8-0. We have a lead in the second half.
Largely.
I can play running back.
Is this like a 3-touchdown lead with 2 minutes left to go in the game?
I think
Probably like a 6-touchdown lead. I mean, it's got to be in the bag.
I mean, we're just about halfway there.
We are.
And you're still lobbying for this. You want to be the running back
On a daily basis.
Really?
I told him the other day, we should first play tomorrow night. We'll line up in the I, put me and Fraley in the backfield, and just run that until they stop it.
Here's the sad part. They ain't got to worry about stopping it, because after about 2 or 3 plays, they're going to be stopped on their own.
They'll be on the sideline on oxygen, right?
They're going to be tapping that head.
Yeah. Who's going to be carrying the oxygen bottle for them?
Yeah. The sad part is that you don't have the number to where you can get a handoff.
Yeah, you gotta have an eligible number.
No, really.
Sits around.
No, we can't do
86.
that. You just
Gotta be 1 through 49 or 80 through 99.
Well, you know what you could have is a tear-off number.
Hey, we don't have a number 6.
Put it on Velcro.
Don't have a number 6. Take his 8, tear it off.
Purple tape up the 8.
There you go.
Be number 6.
Don't
There
look
you
at
go.
me.
Coach, I'm giving you ideas here now.
Come on.
Or I'm giving Russ ideas to
you're
tell
giving
Coach.
Russ ideas.
Because you guys are the ones that are negotiating this deal.
If it's a JV game,
You can't play.
Yeah, you can't play.
That's right, you can't play.
I thought it was like 8 quarters. You get
Negative.
No.
Okay.
Shot that down real quick.
Hey, what's the chance of us putting together another JV freshman kind of thing like for Lawrence County?
I'll talk to Coach Marston tomorrow night and find out what his situation is. I know in Dixon their numbers were down, but to tell you the truth, I kind of liked it. I felt like we got more work done per se than if we just had a separate freshman or separate junior varsity.
Good looking kid.
So hopefully we can see more of those. I felt it was more game-like, more beneficial for our players than having the other. I know our freshman numbers are a little higher than our JV numbers, so we'll see. I'll talk to Coach Marston and see what he wants to do, and we'll go from there. So,
From the guys in the press box, we kind of like that.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was a whole lot easier on us.
Our trainer liked it.
yeah, he did. He did.
Although
And Chris doesn't like anything.
now Friday night, this past Friday night, getting ready for
See, you guys know I'm right. But anyway.
This past Friday night when we were getting ready for the Lincoln County game, their staff come over to us, what was it, about 5 times giving us the latest update.
Of players. They say that they don't, the radio station does not get, let me back up. Let me back up and justify what I'm fixing to say. Coach Hoth will give me 5 different rosters in a week. And say, here's our latest roster.
Which I do need to send you one tonight. Just
Did
so
you?
Know. I need to. I haven't been home yet.
Just give me another week because we don't play for till the 22nd.
That's true.
Remember?
Okay. All right.
So he says, here's your roster. Well, the Lincoln County radio guys were coming over saying, well, let me change the number right there because this is such and such. They don't know until game day. And until they put their players on the field, who's going to play?
That's a strategy that Coach Thomas and Lincoln County do. Not sure if that's how their home games are, but when we're watching film, we're looking at numbers. We don't know the kids' names, and they get out there. Everybody's got a different jersey on. Yep. Quarterback that we were expecting to see was number 11.
Yeah.
He was number 8.
Right.
We were looking for a certain defensive back. He wasn't wearing the number he was wearing. It was one of those things. All right, which kid is which?
Yeah.
And that's just the way they do things. A little different, but I guess I see the reason why. Maybe we were trying to look for their players, and all of a sudden we couldn't find them. But if he played quarterback, he's still going to be playing quarterback.
Right.
Corner on defense, he's still going to be corner on defense. So,
but the one thing I would ask for any other school that may watch this particular show, I'm going to say this: do not get mad at the press box crew if we mispronounce your player's name because you do not give us a breakdown of how it's pronounced, or number 2, you don't put a name with a number. You stick a number out there, and we have no clue who this kid is.
Right.
I mean, even the coaching staff for Hillwood had no idea
who number 23 was.
Who number 23 was.
That's interesting.
Because we said we
went over there and said, all right, who's number 23, Coach?
We don't know.
I have no clue.
So we were going to say number 23, no clue, on the tackle.
We were talking about that over there, me and Montana and Will were, and he said they had a guy on defense, number 25, playing linebacker, and when they were lining up against on defense, he had number 9. They said he recognized him with the cleats, so they switched one of them during the game. And then they were talking about Lincoln County, number 3, he wore number 6 too, and then switched between 3 and 6 during the game.
Wow.
And I guess it's a legal move because when we send all the players in, when I give all my entire team to Coach Blue and these guys submit it to TSSAA for eligibility purposes, there's no numbers by the name, so they just have the name. So when TSSAA sends out, they send us out a roster every week. Here's your roster for Columbia Lawrence County. So there's just names. So there's no numbers. So I guess it's a legal move. I don't really like it per se, but I guess if you're not going to, if it's me and I'm going to give you here's my away roster, they're just not going to have any numbers by it. It seems like a lot of work for the people in the press box to try to fix it every week.
Yeah.
But don't hold us accountable for something that you and your coaching staff, not you, but I'm just saying the collective you and your coaching staff have done when you come to our house.
Yeah.
You have to understand that you've got parents on the other side who also want to hear their kids' name.
And for God's sakes, put them in numerical order.
Yes.
Just do that on Excel right there.
But when you got to go through there and physically try to find out,
that's where it becomes he's tackled by the guy in the white jersey.
I have.
My favorite's is during the Jamboree. We had him 3rd and 30-something, and you say it's 3rd and Colioco. We're laughing at that on the sideline.
Yeah, we'll use reference points.
I never hear that.
Or third and Williamsport, or
Yeah, or third in Williamsport.
Yeah.
But we'll do that from time to time. That's just part of what we do.
I hope we get them some more third and long situations.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
able to call that out. It'd be good.
For defense.
For
Yeah, for defense.
And we got one spotter that keeps trying to get Dan on where the ball is, like the 57.
Yeah.
But
And my first couple of years, I would fall for that, and I would fall for everything that they tell me. But then I got smart. I said, no. That's the reason sometimes I'll ask T.J. Brown to repeat yourself.
But we have
What'd
had
you just say?
We have had the clock operator put the yard where the ball is, 57-yard line.
But that was a long time ago.
Okay, that's it.
Russ, you got anything else? Any words of wisdom that you want to pass along?
I mean, if we're talking about switching jerseys, I don't know why we can't do it.
We're not talking about that, Russ.
Hey, Coach, you brought it up.
I did. Well,
you brought it up that he wants to be in the backfield.
He just wants to take you at your word, Coach.
and I gave my word. I said, if we're 8-0 and we're up by 6 touchdowns, I'll bring a jersey and I'll throw you in a jersey unless you run the ball.
Whoa. Let me back up. You said if we're 8-0 and we're ahead by 6 touchdowns
in the fourth quarter.
What if we get in the first half?
With less than 2 minutes.
What if we get in the first half?
Look at Coach Davis over here. He's going, man, I don't know.
Because once you get this guy and it gets done to him, all other 4.
Yeah.
Well,
That's okay. I'll let him get gray hair over that.
I've already got plenty.
Wait a minute.
Add to it.
I don't see very much hair up there.
You can't turn something gray that you don't have.
That's right.
That's by design, right?
That's right. Cut it this morning.
We have any other players that want to come over and chat?
We got a few minutes.
Any
we
other
got a few
Columbia
minutes.
football players want to come on the radio tonight?
Yeah, we got about 6 minutes left to go. So
One of these days I'm going to bring my boys on here because they always complain like, how come I don't get to talk on the radio? I'm like, all
Well,
right,
yeah.
all right, well, next time you're here, I'll bring you on. They're not going to be able to be here tonight.
and that way your wife Summer will have
Here comes one.
an
Here comes
archived.
Hey,
That's right.
He's about to bring
There
up
you
about
go.
touching the ball.
We'll have an
Here comes
archived
Here comes a couple of them here.
YouTube video of your son
right.
being on.
I'll tell you what, last week I gave them the long speech because we had a rainy game. I said, this is the most important game y'all have ever been a ball boy for me. All right, got some more guys on here tonight. Russ,
Yeah, eating and everything.
making me scoot over too. Yeah.
Russ is still trying to butter you up. All right.
Drew, got to say you've done an exceptional job being at center.
Thank you.
It seems to be a very comfortable position for you to be in.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I mean, you're getting the ball to the quarterback. You guys are 3-0,
Yeah.
so that's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. It's definitely better to see that we're winning. Makes it a little bit more easier in the psyche.
Right.
But yeah, it's not.
No, it's okay.
It's not been that hard of a transition, I guess.
Drew's had some pancakes on the air too.
Oh, really?
He's done very well.
Yeah.
I've noticed his play, and he's done very well out there. Yeah. And I've been pleasantly surprised with Russ this year. And
Pleasantly.
seems like you're keeping that rear end down a little more than what you did last year. And you're doing more of the moving around, so that's good to see.
Guys, tell us a little bit about Lawrence County.
Will Anderson.
Well, they run a wing tee, and they like to run buck sweeps and the quick trap plays right down the midline. So this week I plan on slowing down my reads a little bit and being sure I don't overrun that trap play because it's a quick hitter and it could be really deadly if I don't be careful.
Mm-hmm. We got a little worried about you last week when you went out with a stinger.
That was the worst stinger I ever had in my life. Like, I heard my shoulder pop, and I thought my career was over. I was like, oh, no. I thought I had, like, an injury like Nante or something because, like, I've had little stingers, but I haven't had one like that before. And the pop really scared me more than anything. I thought my shoulder was out of place or something. But once Fett got over there and reached in there and said everything was back in, like everything was still in socket, I think I just started to calm down and the pain started to go away. But I just wanted to get back in the game and make sure, I could help get that comeback win. So I'm fine. I've been doing good in practice. I got one little stinger there in practice this week, but I'm fine. My shoulders were really sore earlier in the week, but they've loosened up, and I'm ready to play.
What did coaches tell you at halftime that turned this game around?
Well, they really just told us, we weren't doing too bad of a job. We were just, doing little things that really affected the game, and that once we fix those little things, that it's our game. And and they just let us know it's still a close game. It's not like we're getting beat bad or anything. And that and the focus on not being like last year's team when adversity came, not to just sit down and lie down and let it just keep pounding and pounding and pounding on us. That we're a whole different team, and once we face some adversity, it's okay to get out there and smack adversity back and overcome it. And that's one thing Coach Hoth really focused on us. He challenged us to be a different team, to show everybody that we're not the same team as last year and that we can overcome adversity no matter what it is.
All right, so what are we looking like for tomorrow night? How you feeling? How was practice this week, guys?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I felt like practice this week was a little unfocused. I today was a little unfocused today. We were calling out for punt return, and I was just out there lollygagging, and they had to yell at me today. But I just think it's just one of those things when you're a team that's used to losing, and then once you get a big head, some people might think, oh yeah, we're 3-0, and nothing can stop us and stuff like that. But we just need to definitely tomorrow. I'm gonna step up more as a leader tomorrow, and once I see horse playing and stuff, I'm gonna just cut it out because we really need to focus tomorrow. I didn't really like all the unfocusedness in the horse playing this week in practice, and that's one thing. Next week I'm also going to try to step up and be more of a leader and try to cut most of that out.
So you want your senior season to be the best season yet?
Yes, sir.
All right.
And I've told our guys this before too, is when you win a football game, it's a great feeling, but it's just as good of a feeling knowing that you have prepared the entire week. I think it makes a win just that much more gratifying, knowing that you've busted your butt in preparation for the game, went out and executed and got the win. That's something we're trying to instill in their minds too.
And by the same token, if you lose that game, but you prepped for it, it's still that same feeling.
Then you go home and sleep at night.
Yeah.
If you busted your butt all week and you did everything, you lifted on the field, then
right. As long as you've given your all, and there's nothing more that you could have done.
Yep.
You ought to be able to rest at night.
Guys, show's over. 7 o'clock.
Quick.
It's pizza time.
That's
Thanking again. We'd like to thank Kathy and Glenn Truelove for the hospitality here in the Lions Den at Truelove's Pizza and Grits. Our Thursday night preview show every Thursday night, with the exception of the off week. We're not here on the off week. During before every Lions football game. So Coach, thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
Will you be here next week?
There might be a chance. I think Whitthorne plays Tuesday next week.
All right, cool. That'll work out. Eddie, you ready to go tomorrow night?
I'm ready to go.
Let's do it.
Go Lions.
All right, go Lions. As a matter of fact, we're going to be 7 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night at Lawrence County High School. It's easy to find. Just get down to Highway 43 and turn left when you get in Lawrenceburg. You'll find it. Have a good evening, everybody. Go Lions.